Hello. 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 When you come into the chat, say hello. I'd appreciate it. It's kind of late, so I'm hoping to get a few people here and have a little conversation. So when you enter the chat, say your hello, please. Let me see who's with us. Let me see who's with us. All right, let's go. Hello, Ernest. How are you? All right. Hello, Thomas. Hello. Good evening. Hello. All right. Dallas, Texas in the house. Damon, wonderful. Hello. All right. I'm glad you guys are here. It's kind of late, so I'm appreciative. Aloha. Was just watching your latest video. Oh, Alice, I'm sorry to disturb you from that. Make sure you go back. Hi, Charlie. All right. Hello from Iowa. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate. Is it Shelly? I'm sorry. I had to put the glasses on a little bit closer. Thank you, Anthony. Still awake. All right. Yeah, Colleen C in Iowa. Okay, great. All right, Allison, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad you guys. I didn't intend at all to be back on here. Like, I believe it was Allison who mentioned that she was just watching. Yeah, it was Allison Joy. Love that name. Was watching the video that I did, and like I said, I didn't have any intentions of doing another video tonight. I was kind of chilling, I don't know what I look like here, but I had to come back on, okay? Because I'm watching and I'm listening and I'm reading. Only 540. I'm jealous. Only 540. Okay, let me stay focused here. I'm watching and I'm listening and I'm reading. And thank you, Marvin. And I'm hearing everybody talking about what Sheryl Swoopes said concerning Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Now, give me a one or a thumbs up or something if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so here you go. They're hiding behind her resume. Don't excuse her making statements like this. It's worse knowing she's a decorated player. Okay. All right, Terrell. Thank you. Good evening. All right. New York City. Okay. That's where I'm from. Born and raised in New York City. I don't know where you are, but I was in Queens and Long Island. Okay. So yeah, first of all, let me make this clear. If you know me at all, if you heard me talk at all, then you know, all right, I see Sheila hasn't heard. Okay, everybody's talking about this right now, okay? When you come in, hit the like button, all right? Now, I was a huge Sheryl Swoops fan. I was a huge Houston Comets fan. And so I know there's been a lot of controversy about Sheryl Swoops from some comments she made way back. I shouldn't say way back. It wasn't even that long ago, but she had made some comments, remember, before that Caitlin Clark really wasn't, she was older than 22. She took 40 shots a game. She's talking about in Iowa, when she was in Iowa. She took 40 shots a game. She really didn't break Kelsey Plum's record because she'd been in the league longer. Thank you, James Hudson. She'd been all this stuff, and she was wrong. And from what I understand, she eventually apologized, etc. She went on Gil's Arena not that long ago, and she was talking about Rookie of the Year. She couldn't even make a good case for it. She sort of just said, "Oh, it's Reese, and but I wish that she had stayed in school." All that whole thing. So here's my thing. Okay, yeah, Cynthia Cooper. I loved Cynthia Cooper. Now, the comments that I'm reading, and I see some people, some people have heard. I'm surprised some people have not heard. But on her podcast, Queens of the Court, Sheryl Swoops made the comment basically that, she made the case for Angel Reese again. She said that the Fever doesn't need Caitlin Clark to make it to the playoffs. Caitlin Clark, they don't need Caitlin Clark to make it to the playoffs, which of course people are saying is absolutely absurd. And then apparently she made a comment about Katie Lou Samuelson. Now, I've heard people say that she said that, basically said that, let me see exactly what people are saying, and I'll tell you what I heard. So let me find this here. I want to make sure I get this right. And for whatever reason, I'm not finding it. But she said basically that, you know, kind of sounded like people thought she was saying that Samuelson was a better player than Caitlin. Now, I didn't see that part, but what I did hear her say was basically that the Fever didn't need Caitlin to make the playoffs because they do have Katie Lou Samuelson, and she's a shooter. You know, I heard her say that. I heard that myself. So I'm looking on my phone because I'm trying to find it, but of course, when I get on here, I don't find it. But anyway, she did say that Katie Lou was a shooter. They don't have to have that even without Caitlin Clark. Let me put it that way. Yeah, Marvin says that Katie is more needed than Caitlin. So that's what people are saying. I heard her say Katie Lou is a shooter. She's more needed. And anyway, however she phrased it, she's saying that the Fever would make the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. Now, why did I want to do this? I'm like, I didn't plan to come back on here, but I got to come back on here. Okay. All right. Have not heard this last one from Swoops because do not watch your podcast. Yeah, I don't watch it. I don't listen to it either, but it's all over the place with everybody talking about it. Right. And I'm hearing people say, this is what I'm hearing people say about Sheryl Swoopes. They're saying she needs to lay off the drugs. I'm telling you what I'm hearing people say. She needs to lay off the drugs. She's an idiot. She's an imbecile. She's a hater. You know, all that stuff. That's what I'm hearing. But I'm here to tell you something else. Okay. Understand, Sheryl Swoopes is no fool. Okay. Sheryl Swoopes is not clueless. I'm assuming Sheryl Swoopes is not on drugs, and Sheryl Swoopes is not an idiot. Sheryl Swoopes knows exactly what she's doing. She's smarter than y'all realize. Okay? She might be the biggest hater. She says some things that are questionable. But Sheryl Swoopes knows enough about the game. She's played the game. She's been a star in the game. She understands the game. Okay? She knows. Notice that why does Sheryl Swoopes say, this is the case she lays out. She lays out that the Fever would still make it to the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. She contrasts that to Chicago and Angel Reese. Okay, so this is what I want to do. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm hoping you can hear this because I want to play, and I'm going to ask you if you can hear this when I play it. Throw a 2 in there. Let's just go with the 2, okay? And I don't think it's just about her podcast either. I really don't, Thomas. There's another reason in mind. So let me put a 2 in there if you can hear, just so that I know that we're good.
About a player. I don't know if Chicago's in the playoffs right now without Angel. Right? Yeah. Is Indiana?
Okay, so you guys can hear. Okay, everybody can hear. Okay, so good, because I'm going to be stopping it. And notice what she's starting with. She's saying, I don't know if the Chicago's in the playoffs without Angel. So I'm going to back it up a little bit. I'll go back a little further. And I want to play it. And I want to tell you exactly what Sheryl Swoopes is doing.
Something to be said about a player. I don't know if Chicago's in the playoffs right now without Angel. Right? Yeah. Is Indiana, is Indiana in the playoffs right now without Caitlin? I don't know. Last year, no. Well, but they were close, right?
Okay, I want to start right there. So she's saying Chicago's not in the playoffs without Angel. Then she says, does the Fever make the playoffs without Caitlin? And Jordan, her co-host, says, no. And then Sheryl Swoopes says, well, but they were close. They were not close to making the playoffs last year. And nobody correct. Jordan doesn't correct Sheryl Swoopes. Okay. But Sheryl is laying out a case. All right. So again, she says they were close. Let's keep going.
When you look at the overall team, like the pieces that they have, without question, Indiana has better players than Chicago from top to bottom. No doubt about it. I don't know about that.
Okay, so you notice there's a little bit of pushback, right? She says Indiana has better players. Jordan says, I don't know about that. So she pushes back. I'm submitting to you because I've heard people say, well, it's good that Jordan pushed back on Sheryl. It's good that she, it's a game. I'm telling you right now, it's a game between both of them, and they're both in on it. I believe it's a setup. Now, you can call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but there is something going on here, and Jordan is playing the role of the pushback, but I believe she knows exactly what she's doing. Keep it going.
Okay. I don't know about that. Okay. Well, they had 3 All-Stars. Chicago had 1. Okay. Yeah. I'm going through the roster in my mind right now.
Okay, so start right there. So notice what happened. She said, she pushed back. Jordan says, nah, I don't know about that. And then Sheryl makes another case. Well, they got 3 All-Stars. And notice that now Jordan is saying, well, yeah. Now I'm going through the roster. Okay, Darren, you're with me, brother. You're with me. So now she says, oh, you know what, Sheryl? I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, go ahead. Keep on making your case, she says. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, she said, okay. That was easy, wasn't it? All of a sudden, it's okay. Here we go.
I would argue. Let's take it to court.
Okay, so now they're going to take it to court. You're the queens of the court. They're going to take it to court. I wonder who's going to win this trial.
It's to court. I'm taking it to court. I'm saying Caitlin Clark has elevated those players' games through her passing, through her assists, through the attention that she's garnering, that she's giving Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston better looks than they were creating for themselves before. That's what I was.
Okay, so she makes a good case because Sheryl Swoops is saying that they had 3 All-Stars on the team. And Jordan makes the good point. Because if you're going to play the game, you got to know what you're talking about, right? So she says, well, yeah, but I'm going to argue that Caitlin makes the other ones better. She makes it better for all of them. That's her argument. All right.
In this Rookie of the Year context. Oh, I don't disagree with that, but let's also remember Aaliyah Boston was Rookie of the Year last year. Absolutely. And an All-Star. Kelsey Mitchell has always been a bucket. Like, she can just flat out score the basketball. Okay. A player that we don't really talk about, and I think we should, because I thought she was playing exceptionally well before she got hurt. Fag Benley. Yeah. Then you got Melissa Smith. And
okay, yeah. So Fagbenle, who has been hurt and been out a lot, Sheryl Swoops throws that in there. Notice what she's doing. She's building a case to say that Indiana is a better team without Caitlin Clark than the Chicago Sky is without Angel Reese. This is, some of you are calling it jealousy. This is more than jealousy. Some of you are saying she's off her rocker. This is not that. This is somebody who knows exactly what she's doing, and she knows why she's doing it. She's saying, well, yeah, they got 3 All-Stars and this, that. Well, yeah, there's a reason why they had the number 1 pick 2 years in a row. David says, I'm calling it dumb. It's not dumb, David. It's smart. What she's doing is smart. And then she points out, Alyssa Smith, this is her argument. So Jordan is there in court. This is called court. So let's keep going.
They brought in Katie Lou, who's a shooter.
Okay, so this is where people are talking about Katie Lou. Well, they have Katie Lou. She's a shooter, which means that they don't need Caitlin Clark to make the playoffs, according to Sheryl Swoopes, because Katie Lou. Now, no disrespect to Katie Lou, but my goodness, really, Cheryl? She's not that dumb. She knows exactly what she's doing. And yes, CWE. Yeah, remember the hug of Angel Reese at the end of that game. Now, listen, I'm not here trying to diss Angel Reese for those of you who get super sensitive about Angel Reese. But I'm telling you that Sheryl Swoopes has an agenda. And her agenda is to point out in her mind that the Indiana Fever doesn't really need Caitlin Clark as much as Chicago needs Angel Reese. Now, why is she making that case? Well, anybody who's been around basketball long enough, whether you're talking about the MVP, whether you're talking about Rookie of the Year, what do people say? They always used to say one of the measuring sticks, if not the measuring stick for those awards, is that your team could win more. Your team needs you to win. So if your team needs you more than another team needs you, then needs that player, then that other player is the Rookie of the Year. That was the whole debate, whether you were talking about Jordan, whether you were talking about Kobe, whatever you were talking about, people would say, well, look at the pieces around them. And if they had some really good pieces around them, then people would say that that player, even if it was Jordan, even if it was Kobe, even if it was Cece, that player isn't as valuable to their team as the other person is to their team. And so Sheryl Swoopes, not dumb at all, she's making the case that they are better. They would be fine without Cece, but they would not be fine without Angel. It's really not lunacy, Joseph. It is brilliant. At least she's attempting. That's the argument for MVP, but not Rookie of the Year, Dan. But it's still the argument for any type of award when you're picking out the best. You're picking out the person that supposedly needs their team more than somebody else, or their team doesn't need them as much as someone else. And that's her point. I'm just telling you. And it is Rookie of the Year. I understand that it's Rookie of the Year, but she's laying out the point that's why she's talking about Rookie of the Year. She's wrong in what she's saying, but that's the case she's trying to make. The case she's trying to make is that the Fever has a great team enough to make the playoffs, and they don't need Caitlin Clark to make the playoffs. Yeah, and facts are facts. They are not good without Caitlin Clark. They're not making the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. But that's not Sheryl Swoopes' assignment. Sheryl Swoopes' assignment, which she's handling here, is to try to prove otherwise. Okay, Brandon, thank you so much. The goalpost always moves. First, it was who has the better stats. It was Caitlin. Then it was the standings, Fever or higher. Now it's this. Yeah, and this is what she's trying to do. It's nonsense, but understand that Sheryl Swoopes and the media, and I believe Jordan is in on it, there is an agenda to influence who the Rookie of the Year will be. There's an agenda. And this spiel that she's putting out there, that's part of the agenda. To make sure that the person she wants to win that award is the one who wins that award. And I refuse to believe that Sheryl Swoops doesn't know what some of you are saying, that it should be about the stats, that Caitlin Clark is needed by her team, that Katie Lou Samuelson should not be in the same conversation of value as Caitlin Clark. Of course she knows that. She ain't crazy. She's laying out a case. So let's keep going a little bit.
Like, if you go down the roster, player for player, I feel that. Like, look at Chicago. Tiffany Carter is a just can't nobody guard her. They just can't. But after else? That, yeah, like, but who else? Because I know they got Camilla. Right? Yeah. Okay. Well,
okay. Wait, I gotta stop. I gotta stop here because this is Colleen. That's too much. Sheryl Swoops for Cookie of the Year. That's really good. I had to stop. All right. Swoops is ruining her legacy by spewing nonsense. She's on a mission, y'all. She's on a mission, and she's trying to prove with this talk that they don't need Caitlin Clark. Because that's the only argument that she has for why Angel should be Rookie of the Year. And that's what she's pointing out. That's what she's saying. And Jordan is not going to argue that because Jordan is in on it. I'm telling you. All right. All the YouTube channels we talk about Cheryl's comments tomorrow, they're already talking about it. That's why I got on here again tonight. I had no intentions of getting back on here tonight. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't. If you're watching the replay, make sure you subscribe. We are inching our way to 6,000. I'm telling you, Jordan's not going to say but so much because she's in on it. She started with the pushback, and then she started going, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Listen some more.
No, but seriously. I like it. And then Elizabeth Williams is hurt. Izzy is hurt. But those are all post players. I'm looking at the guards. And now they don't got Marina Mabry, so
no. Okay, so now notice what happened. Now Jordan joins in. They were in court. Jordan was pushing back. Then all of a sudden, Jordan says, oh yeah, Chicago really needs Angel more than Indiana needs Caitlin. And then she adds, and now they don't have Marina, they don't have Mabry. All of a sudden now she's helping her out to build the case that Chicago needs Angel more than Indiana needs Caitlin. I'm telling you. She's like, yeah, now, oh my goodness, they don't have Mabry. Now, if Mabry were all that valuable to them, they probably wouldn't have let her go. But she's in on it. Here we go.
Forgot about that.
Oh, listen what she said. I forgot about that. Isn't it, Jordan? Yeah, they don't have Mabry. I forgot. Oh my goodness, Cheryl, you're making a good point. They don't really need Cece as much as Chicago needs Angel. I forgot. You ain't forgetting nothing. This is the plan, y'all. Falling for it. They're making the case. They're on assignment. They're not the only ones. You've been seeing it happen.
Gonna be that person to step up. Maybe Rachel Banham comes in and it's like.
So let me go back just a little bit. Let's go back just a little bit.
And now they don't got Marina Mabry, so no. Jeez. Forgot about that.
I forgot.
Who is gonna be that person to step up? Maybe Rachel Banham comes in and
who's gonna step up? Who's gonna step up? Who's gonna step up?
Oh, maybe. And then Mariah Jefferson, who hasn't played all season.
Oh my goodness! Right. Then they have these other people who are no good.
Okay, all right. I like. But it's gonna
did you hear that? All of a sudden, Jordan says, "All right, you won." I like it. I like what you're saying. She started out pretending that Caitlin Clark, pretending that she really believed that Caitlin Clark is as valuable as we all know she is. But the whole plan, I believe, was for the setup. I'm no conspiracy theorist. But I'm thinking Sheryl Swoops is too smart for this. And this girl, Jordan, is in on it. And all of a sudden, boom, she gets the light bulb. You're right. Wow, they don't have Mabry anymore. They don't have this. They don't have that. It's only Angel who's there saving the day. She's got to be Rookie of the Year. That's the plan. This is what this whole conversation is about. Yes, agreeing with the crazy person is something done for survival. I'm telling you, she's not crazy. She knows exactly what she's doing. Both DT and Breonna Stewart have said that Caitlyn has improved. Indiana did not know that was criteria for Rookie of the Year. So plus for their comment. I don't know. I don't know what their criteria is. All I know is that the media, which I don't like, are the ones who get to vote. But I also know that I've heard conversations, whether you're talking about MVP, whatever you're talking about, everybody starts to talk about who's the most valuable person for their team. That may not be written in stone. Has anybody ever seen anything written in stone for Rookie of the Year criteria? You give it to the media, and the media are biased, in case you didn't know. I'm old school. I'm just saying, I know, I followed Cheryl Swoops. I was a huge fan of Cheryl Swoops. I'm eating popcorn, looking at Adrian's iPhone. I'm saying Sheryl Swoops knows the game. She knows what Caitlin Clark brings to the game. Yet every time we turn around, what is she doing? She's downplaying Caitlin's ability. She's down. She back in college. Oh, she really didn't break the record. Oh, she takes 40 shots. Oh, she took longer. All of it was wrong. And she loves Angel Reese, and that's okay if she loves Angel Reese. It's okay if she truly believes Angel Reese is supposed to be Rookie of the Year. If that's what she thinks, that's what she thinks. Okay? But she's laying out the case. And I think Jordan is in on it. Because I don't think that Sheryl Swoops is dumb enough to actually believe that Caitlin Clark is not valuable to her team. Sheryl Swoops, who played with Cynthia Cooper. Sheryl Swoops, who had a dagger of a shot, who had a quick release. Sheryl Swoops knows the game. And yet she's going to sit up here and we're going to say, "Oh, she's crazy. Oh, she's off her meds. Oh, she's an idiot." All this stuff I've heard. I mean, that's what we're going to say. And that she actually thinks that they can make the playoffs and that they can be a great team and that they almost made the playoffs last year without Caitlin Clark. She knows better. Now, maybe she's jealous. I don't know. Maybe she's a hater. You kind of get that impression. But I also think this is some kind of skit that they've come up with because they're laying the case. 100% was a podcast to convince viewers on their opinions. All right. Yeah. Allison says, let's ask the Fever players how they'd feel to lose Cece. Bet we'd find out how important she is to the team. And Caitlin knows. And Sheryl Swoops knows that.
Good one. It's going to be a good one. I feel like what we are toying with and discussing, this is what everyone is thinking about. Like when we are having to decide who is Rookie of the Year, there are so many factors. Whereas I feel like years prior, it's just been, oh, this was the number one pick.
Okay. Guys, did you hear that? I'm telling you, did you hear what she said? Now Jordan comes in and says, well, we used to seem to know who the Rookie of the Year was. Now there are so many different things to consider. And that's why they're laying out this piece. And the piece they're laying out that they want people to consider is the stupid argument that they would make it to the playoffs without CC, that they don't really need her, that Samuelson is enough for the team. But if you look over in Chicago, they say that, well, Angel, she's the savior of the team. And even if we went on and played it, she had mentioned Camila Cardoso and Swoops dissed her. If you listen, go back and listen again. Because she's just like, well, yeah, I've been thinking about Camila. I've been blinded by Camila. And Swoops is like, yeah, well, don't be. So I'm just saying.
Rookie of the Year. Yeah, that's not the case, and I'm happy for that.
Rookie of the Year.
That we have more not even debates, just conversations about these topics, and have it be centered around basketball and how they're playing and what their team and the roster and records, all of that. Mm-hmm. All right, how you feel about that? I love it. Mid-season award. I like it. I like it. We brought it to court on our cases. That was a heavy caseload. Let's go. Ooh, it's gonna be good time award season come the end of the season. But that was just at the midway point. We still got more to come on the show.
So there you have it. As I said, all right, Terrell, thank you so much. I'm about to be signing off too, but I'm telling you right now, that was a big old skit. That was them laying out the case that this Rookie of the Year should not be the way it used to be, but you've got to look at the roster. You got to look at all this stuff. And the case that's being laid out is that Caitlin does not deserve to be Rookie of the Year, as Swoop said, because the Indiana Fever is just fine without Caitlin Clark because they have Katie Lou Samuelson. But Chicago, no, they need Angel. Therefore, Angel is supposed to be the Rookie of the Year. And again, you can think whatever you want to think about that. But this right here, this was some sort of skit. And some of y'all have been played because you're thinking that Sheryl Swoopes is just done lost it. And she's off her meds. And she's an idiot. And she's an imbecile. And all these other things that I said. No, that I've heard people say, I should say. And she's none of that. She might be a hater. I'm not going to argue right there. She might be one who loves her some Angel Reese. It appears to be so. But she ain't stupid. She is out there doing the bidding of the powers that be. And if you've paid attention to commentators and the media, you cannot deny that there is a certain narrative. And Sheryl Swoopes has joined in the narrative. But you can't just be all up with it like that. You have to pretend that the person on the other side actually is pushing back. You start off by pretending, and then all of a sudden they see the light. And they realize that you were right all along. Brandon, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, yeah, it is. It's propaganda. I'm telling you. Understand that seeds get dropped. Who gets to vote for Rookie of the Year? The media votes. First place, second place, third place, all that. So what do? You drop seeds. You drop little seeds. And then the media has to go in. And then they've got to take a vote. And we understand politics. So you know how that works. What do you think the media, it's not different in sports. And Jordan is a journalist. She knows the game. She's playing her part. It's what they do. They do it in politics, local level, state level, federal level, and in sports. Sports is the biggest piece of politics you will ever see. And that's exactly what they're doing. So she's off her, she's off her rocker. Sounds like a really good out. No, she's not off her rocker. She has taken her role on. And she's going to be the lap dog because that's what she wants. And she made it clear. She said, I do not want co-Rookie of the Year. She said that in this. I don't want co. Now, I said they're trying to build a case. They're trying to build a case that if they can't get Angel all the way in as Rookie of the Year, then they're trying to say enough so that she will at least get Rookie of the Year. But both these ladies said, nope, that's not what we want. I used to love her too, James. I used to love Cheryl. And I'm not saying I don't love Cheryl Swoops. Her basketball. Cheryl Swoops was Cheryl Swoops. Okay? She was Cheryl the Swoops. Loved her game. And had a jersey and everything. But I was a huge Cynthia Cooper fan too. So, all right, everybody. Like I said, I didn't plan on coming on here, but I'm hearing all the comments. And I just wanted to give my take on it. Take a look. I encourage you, go back if you haven't listened to it. And if you haven't listened to it, listen to it. Queens of the Court, it's on your podcast platforms. And if you have listened to it, listen to it again. And I believe you're going to be able to see and hear, rather, exactly what is going on. And I'm telling you, Jordan, I believe, is in on it too. All right, everybody. You guys have a good night. Make sure you hit the like button before you head out of here. And I appreciate it. Jessica, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. God bless you guys abundantly. And have a good night. All right.